So, I just want to take a minute and talk about red flags. Excuse me while I sip my wine. But, yes, red flags. So, I was actually just speaking with a friend, and we were talking about, things that have gone wrong in their situations, stuff like that. And it prompted me to think about, like red flags. It's like we see them, they're there, but when you want something so badly, or you want to believe in something so badly, it's like we ignore them. I believe that, and I always say that when a person tells you who they are, or they show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Don't think that, they'll change. Eventually, their mind will change or what have you. No. People show you who they are, and they tell you who they are. It's just up to you to see the signs, see the red flags. I think that we get so caught up in a situation in that moment, and we just want it to just be what we want so badly. Like we just, completely forget about, okay, this person is showing you exactly who they are. This person is, telling you exactly who they are. It's like when you bring a representative to the table, which is one of the things I hate, is a representative. I feel like you should just be who you are. You have to just be true to yourself. Bringing a representative is not going to do anything but cause problems in the future, because then it's like, oh well, I didn't know, or I'm surprised, I'm shocked, or whatever. But it's like, yeah, because that person wasn't really that person. Like for me personally, I make it known, up front, my flaws, because I don't want it to be later on down the line. It's like, oh, well, I didn't know you were like this, or I didn't know that. No, you knew, because I told you. And that's why I say, when people tell you who they are, believe them. And when they show you, believe them, because they're telling you exactly what you need to know. But, you're missing it, or you're just not wanting to hear it. You're blocking it out. And, it's so important to listen, listen twice, speak once. Because when you're constantly speaking, you're missing the message that you need to get. And then, you constantly go through the same things in life, in the same situations, because you didn't get the message the first time. My mother always told me, when you keep going through things, it's because, you didn't learn the lesson the first time. You didn't learn the lesson. You didn't get it. So now you're going through it again. And I truly believe that if you're not paying attention, and if you're not really getting the message that you're supposed to get from that situation, then it's going to keep repeating. You know what I mean? It's like doing the same thing over again and trying to get different results. It's not going to happen. You have to do different things in order to get different results. And again, seeing a person's red flag is truly important, and accepting it for what it is. You know what I mean? Accepting the fact that, okay, whatever that red flag may be, whether it's lying or, attitudes, whatever it is, whatever the red flag is, that that, like, okay, this might not be, the best thing, or perhaps it is, I'm willing to deal with it, whatever. Like, whatever your situation is and your choices, that's fine. But as long as and you're acknowledging the fact that, okay, this person is this way. You know what I mean? Instead of saying later on, oh, I didn't know. It's just like even like women with their baby daddies or kids' fathers, whichever. It's always like, oh, I can't stand him, blah, blah, blah. But, we as women, we really, even men, y'all can't say, like, you hate your baby mamas, or men or women, I hate my baby daddy, because at the end of the day, like, that's what you laid down with. That's what you chose. And you knew exactly what you were getting into. And, a lot of times we like to say, well, I didn't know, I didn't think he was like that, or I didn't think she was like that. Yes, you did, because she showed you, or he showed you. You just missed it. You missed it because you were too focused on being in that moment, which, it's not necessarily anything wrong with that. But again, you just have to be observant. You have to be aware of your surroundings at all times. You have to observe and understand what you're getting yourself into, because, people are going to show you, and you knew, but again, you just missed it. So then later on, it's like, oh man, I didn't expect this, or I didn't know that, or I didn't, but you did. You just chose to ignore it. We've all done it. We've all been in that situation where, we wanted something to be this way, or we wanted something to be great, or we really wanted something. So we just missed what we should have saw, from the beginning. And that's okay. Things happen, mistakes happen, life happens, shit happens, but you just have to be more aware and more cognizant of what's going on in the situation, and when people, again, show you who they are, you have to believe them. You can't sit and think like it's going to change, they're going to change, whatever the case may be. Like that's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. And a lot of times it does happen. People change, situations change, but a lot of times it doesn't. And then, you're left with disappointment. But it's like you only set yourself up for disappointment, because we as human beings have to know that, like, we can't make anybody change. We can't make anybody do something that they don't want to do, or at the time that you want them to do it. I even had to learn that. Even have patience. Like, not everything is going to happen when you want it to. Not everything is going to happen how you want it to. But at the same time, though, if changes aren't happening at all, or if you see that, this person continues to do the same things, those are red flags. Those are signs like, okay, you're already seeing where this is going to go. So I just say, it was just on my mind, thinking about this whole, red flag thing. Is like, we always say we're shocked, we're surprised, we're this, but are you really? Are you really? Or, are you just now, wanting to acknowledge the fact that, dang, I probably saw this coming, but I didn't want to see it. We all kind of make up things in our mind and facades and fantasies of how we want things, instead of seeing stuff for what it really is, and seeing situations for what it really is. And, it's hard to separate the two, and it's hard to accept, but, you'll set yourself up less for failure when you acknowledge stuff that is just going to be what it's going to be, and move forward from there. So, the message here that I'm just trying to say is, watch for the red flags. They're always there. And when people show you or tell you who they are, you must believe them, because it's real. And that's the truth, and you have to accept people for their truth. If that, and they're showing you, you're just, you're not getting it. So you have to be, again, more cognizant, more aware, more observant, and, accepting the fact that a situation just might not be what you want it to be. Can it change? Can it get better? Absolutely. Can it get worse? Absolutely. But that's your choice to make, and that's, for you to decide. But definitely, keep your eyes open and watch for those red flags.